Art is the voice. Art is the vision. Art is life. That's basically what it is. It's the embodiment of everything, of being alive, of your aspirations as well as how you feel in the darkest moments. Life and art are the same to me. I was born in Shanghai, right after the Japanese occupation. My father was settled in Hong Kong. He was the bank manager of the Bank of Canton branch in Hong Kong. So when I was about 2.5 years old, we all moved over there to be with him. I think I was born hungry. You know how when a baby is born, their first breath is that cry, that scream into the world. That's when you know their lung works and they're breathing. I think symbolically, when I was born, I wanted to open my mouth and I wanted to scream, and I never felt that my scream was heard. So I was always hungry, looking for the response. Yeah, perhaps that's why people used to think I was a little crazy when I was young, because that's just who I was. I remember my mother told me that she felt that I had so much fire. There's too much fire in my personality and character. So it was her job, in order to preserve my safety, to put out that fire. And in order to feel that I could be loved, I was lovable, I had to hide it. Well, I think leaving home was my new chapter in life. I went to San Francisco College for Women. I went there for 3 years. And basically, I thought I was going to major in English and sociology, but I always had time to put in a couple of art classes. And by the 3rd year, I was dating your dad, and he was going to San Jose State. And so I transferred to San Jose State to finish my last year and change my major to art, because it's a place that I felt most at home with. It wasn't work. It was just always play for me. Oh, when I was very, very, very young, I just loved to draw. I just loved to make lines and make things out of nothing. It was so simple. The magic of bringing something into being where it has never been before. Yeah, it's something that comes from nothing, and you make it happen. I guess that's what creation is. It didn't matter what I had, probably a little pencil, something to make marks. And I'm still making marks. It's still the same to me. No, got it. That excitement of making a mark and seeing what it tells me and what it wants to become. It's not that I give it life, but it gives me the life that it wants to have. I become the energy that goes over that space. You know, my studios are my happy places. When I enter the studio, it feels like I'm in a zone. A brush touching the canvas gives me such ultimate pleasure. It's a physical pleasure that nothing else can compare to it for me. That's why my paints are important. I don't have an easel, but I work on the wall. I pin my canvases to the wall. It's like being with my most intimate best friend, that we share, we talk, we banter, we argue. It's the best dance. It is the best dance. Basically, when I paint, I'm just talking to myself. And it's just eclectic dialogue with myself about everything that's going on in this world, or what I'm seeing, what I'm observing, what I'm feeling, what I'm dreaming about, how I want things to be, to make sense, to find order in the midst of chaos. because I like simplicity. I like harmony, I like calmness. And how do I make simplicity, harmony, and calmness happen in this chaotic world? But basically, I treat all my paintings as my children. I love them. I fight with them. I argue with them and they talk back to me, but I love them. My work is my voice. And they filled my life for the last 50 years through all the ups and downs. Art is my life, is how I speak and how I want the world to see me. Basically, it's who I am. I got married very young, had children very young, and I think that's why when you guys were young, I was so torn between taking care of you, watching you grow up, versus doing my work. I chose you because you don't wait, you grow, right? And I have to be there. I want to be there. I don't want to miss anything. So I couldn't spend time working in a studio. So I did performances because I could carry all that in my head and I would just go and do it and it's done. I have to say, even when I was growing up, I always knew I wanted to have children because I wanted to test my theory of how I would have wanted to be raised. So I practiced everything that I wish that I had been equipped with on you guys. Like I tried to make sure that I tell you and say things to you the way I wish I had been spoken to. There were nights after you guys went to bed and I stood at your doorway and I thought, gosh, what a responsibility it is to form and shape two human beings, two human lives. It is a Herculean responsibility that you have to shoulder. You know, I'm so grateful for this family that we've built. You know, all of us built it together, and it's not easy. And we're all like pegs on the tent, right? When you have to make sure that everything is tight and taut and balanced. And that's what we are. We're all pegs. But I see you guys as, you know, now you and Cheryl as parents, and I feel like I'm just so grateful you guys worked it out. I've been so lucky to find what feeds me in life, what makes me happy to wake up in the morning. Of course, it's not every day. There are some really, really tough moments. But I feel I am more blessed than I deserve to be.
Here we go.
I also get to experience my grandchildren.
So what would you say you would most like to be remembered for?
That I'm a good grandma. I'm a good grandmother. I'm a good mother. I've been very lucky. I've raised children who like me, and I love them whether they're my children or not. They're that kind of people. And also that I'm an artist. That when I do my work, I always feel I do it with a sense of excitement and joy, but more than anything, I do it with a sense of reverence. because I feel it is a gift that is given to me, and I'm just a conduit, and I pass it along. I like to feel that everything we touch as human beings, we leave a little imprint of our contribution to make it a better world.